Malachi Senior, and this is Become a Podcast. How do you become anything? You dream, you declare, you commit, and success is your next breath. Shout out to Mitch Valley for that. I will be saying that for the rest of my life, and for the rest of my life, I will always be in debt to Mitch Valley, who gave me that concept. And that part, and the part to be specific was, and success is your next breath. I don't even know if he knew what he was saying, but that concept, that line, it was genius and it made so much sense to me. But I did this podcast yesterday, and the audio, for whatever reason, was really, really bad. It was choppy all the way through, so I posted it. And typically, I don't really listen to the pods after I'm done. I finish them, and then I send them out to the universe, and I don't go back to them too much unless I interview somebody. If I interview somebody, then I go back and check it out just to see how they sounded, see how I sounded, see if I, see if I was too wordy when in my questioning, seeing if I gave enough space for my guests to talk, and just trying to make sure that, working to make sure that I'm doing a good job asking questions and filling in the blanks and doing what I should do as a host. So I'll go check those. But when I do one and it's just me, I typically don't go back and check it. I don't know if I'm afraid of hearing my mistakes, or I really have a problem hearing my own voice, which sometimes I do. But for whatever reason, I don't check them. So anyway, I got a message from email, or a comment on one of my videos, and it was the one that I did yesterday. Someone said audio with a question mark, so I go check it, and the audio was terrible. And so I deleted it from all my different accounts, and so I'm gonna take a crack at it again. So this podcast, the name of it is called The Secret to Success. The Secret to Success. I'm writing a book. I'm in the process of writing the book, and while I was writing the book, in terms of the initial writing, now I'm editing the book, but when I was writing the book, a good friend by the name of Cameron Houston was living in Ann Arbor, and he and I would have a lot of conversations, and he was into positive thinking and listening to inspirational speakers and business leaders, and listening for those lines and those concepts and those philosophies that could to live by, and that could change your life, and that could give you not only success but give you long-term success. And he gave me this concept, and I don't know if it's out of his brain, or if it's something that he saw, or if it's a combination of what he saw and then how he modified it and whatnot. But I do know that it made a lot of sense when he gave it to me. So when we talk about the secret to success, there are two things that stand out. And obviously, man, when we talk about success, there are a lot of things that we can talk about. We can talk about the necessity for understanding, the necessity for intensity, commitment, having a positive mindset, being around certain people, doing your research. There's a bunch of non-negotiable things that you need. But I think in that list of non-negotiable things that you need, I think there's two things that have to be there at the top of the list that might even trump hard work, that might trump whatever else you want to put up there, okay? And the two things at the top of the list for me are faith and vision. Faith and vision. And each one of these components has not necessarily a definition, but like a sub theme, right? So it's not a definition. We all know what faith is, the evidence, the belief in the evidence of things seen, not seen. And then vision, there's Webster's dictionary, but I think vision is when you got to be able to see what it is you want to become, or what it is you want to do in totality, in completion, even when it is not in front of you. So in a box, in a room, and all the rooms are white, you have to see your company, you have to see yourself, you have to see your dreams in totality, even though you're in a room surrounded by white walls, right? And going back to faith, you have to believe and feel. You have to believe that what you're fighting for is worth it. You have to believe in what you're fighting for. You have to believe in what you're working toward. You have to believe that it is so real that it is worth the work. And the problem is sometimes you don't necessarily see the results of your work right away. You know what I'm saying? You don't feel the results. You know, the transaction. Sometimes the transaction that takes place between the work and the results are sometimes, you know, vague, slow to develop. Sometimes they're not visible at that point. But you have to believe that the work that I do today, the transaction is very real, and it's prominent. It's significant, substantial. Like what I am working for, the transaction is very real. I'm getting back what I invested right now at this very moment, in spite of what's in my bank account, in spite of what my car looks like, in spite of what my house looks like, in spite of what my community looks like, in spite of what my current condition looks like. I am getting back everything that I put into this work. And you have to believe it, even though you can't see it. That's tough, right? So the sub-themes for faith and vision I have is faith, persistent consistency. You always working on it. I don't like to say always trying, because trying often leads to failure. So you're always working on it, or you're always trying. I hate to use that word, but you're always trying all the time. You're picking yourself up off the floor after the vicious blow all the time. And the only way that you can persistently be consistent and in getting back on the horse and riding after the hard fall is you have to believe that each fall and each time you get back up and each time you get back on a horse and you ride out and you fall again, you have to believe that process is giving you everything that you're putting into it. You have to believe that everything that I am putting into this process, the hurt, the pain, the suffering, the little bit of success that I get every now and then, the little bit of relief that I get every now and then, the little bit of rest that I get every now and then, the little rewards, right? The little rewards, it's all worth it. You have to believe it. You have to believe that what I am fighting for is worth all of the pain and the suffering and the struggle. It's all worth it. Whether I am benefiting or whether the people are benefiting or whether a collection of people are going to benefit long term, maybe whether people will benefit long term that I will never meet, never see, never experience, that I have to believe in this enough to keep working on it. Therefore, no matter how many times I get knocked down, I will get back up and I will keep going. You have to be persistently consistent. And then the sub thing for vision is you have to have faith in your vision. So you got to be able to see your dreams in totality, but you also have to believe in what your vision is. These things are not easy. These things are not easy to do. My genius level talent is faith. Believing is easy. Now I have my frailties. I still at times will come across an idea and kind of talk myself out of it. Because my frailties and my lack of ability in certain areas will trick me into believing or trick me into thinking my way out of something. But what saves me a lot of times, what saves me from actually succumbing to my fears is my faith. See, deep down inside, I believe that although I might not be good in certain areas of my life, my faith will carry me through. My belief in myself will carry me through. So it's weird where my brain tells me, you know, you're lacking 5 of the 7 requirements in order to get the job done, my faith will say, but I still believe that we can fulfill those 5 requirements that you don't have, and then we can, or we can use the 5 requirements that we do have. If we can use the 5 traits or requirements that we do have, we can use those to get the other 5. So my faith overrides my doubt. My faith overrides my insecurity. My faith overrides my fears and my frailties. My faith tells me that it'll be okay. Everything will be all right. We'll end up figuring this thing out, even when I feel insecure. But faith is my genius level talent. Some people struggle with their faith. Some people struggle with their belief in themselves. Some people struggle with their belief in their genius. Some people struggle with their belief in people. They have no faith in people, probably because they have no faith in themselves, but they don't believe that people can change. They don't believe that people can do better. They don't believe that people will be there, right? And this thing called the confirmation bias. Sometimes people are so in disbelief of the notion of faith, right, that they with the confirmation bias, they just look for evidence to confirm that they're right. So they may see 10 examples of someone being available, standing up and being ready to be involved. But because of the confirmation bias, they only look for the evidence to confirm that they're right. So as soon as they see that one moment where that person maybe doesn't show up, that then becomes the evidence that they needed to justify what they believe. And in that way, the lack of faith in other people becomes it's a sickness, almost like a disease. Like you're so caught up in this idea that people won't show up and people won't contribute and people don't want to help, that now you're almost like through the universe forcing this notion on everyone else, that you're forcing your disbelief in people on everyone else, and now they're starting to exemplify that. Some people don't believe in the collective effort. They don't believe in a higher being. Some people don't believe in their work. They just have a hard time believing. Like they need evidence every time. So when they see the evidence, okay, then it makes it easier to fulfill the prophecy, to jump in and get after it. But if they don't see it, then they can't do it. But even there are some people who can see it and still can't do it. They still can't fulfill it. They still can't complete it. There's so many times where parents work incredibly hard to show their kid what they're capable of, right? And through a lot of hard work, through a lot of strategy, they can even show that child, see, look at what you're capable of. You think about how many teachers are working incredibly hard to show every day, show these kids, this is what you're capable of. Look, you did this work. This is the project you did. This is the paper that you wrote. This is the homework. This is your work. And they work really hard to show that kid what they're capable of. And for some reason, that kid still can't see or believe in themselves. They can't see the goodness in themselves. They can't see the genius, and they can't believe in themselves even after they've been shown what they were capable of. So you have the people that can't see it, right? They can't see their goodness. And then you have people that are actually shown their goodness and they still can't believe in it. Faith is not easy. Faith is not easy. And we live in a world where there's a lot of broken people. There are a lot of broken people who were never taught the value of faith. They were never taught the value of belief. They were never taught how to believe. Their leaders, their people that they looked up to never understood belief. And because of that, now they have a hard time believing. And I'm telling you, man, when you have been a part of a world or a part of an infrastructure that doesn't exercise faith and doesn't work incredibly hard for something that they cannot see, as though they can see it in totality, when you've not seen that, been a part of that, it makes it incredibly hard to work for something, because most of the things that that we want in life, the big things that we want in life, right? The dream job, the car, the house, the spouse, the bank account, all the things that we really want, it's going to 9 times out of 10 require an incredible amount of faith and belief in the unseen. Faith is not easy, but it is the absolute secret to success, because you have to believe in it so much that you will work for it every single day as though it is right in front of you. Like if I told you, I'm going to give you the money first, and I'm going to keep giving you paychecks. If I said I'm going to give you your money first before you do your work. So instead of you doing your work first and getting your money on the 1st and the 15th, I'm going to give you your money. I'm going to give you your money first, and then you can work to then you can earn it. Maybe it might be easier for people to work. If someone said, listen, okay, I'm going to give you the building first. I'm going to give you the building. It's completely furnished. I'm going to give you the business. It's all set up for you. It's all set. The infrastructure is all set up. I'm going to give you all that stuff now where you work. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people in theory that will say, yeah, I'll work for it now because I know that it's there. But that's how you have to work. You have to act like the building is already there. You have to act like the company is already there. The infrastructure has already been implemented into the business. You have to work. You have to act like the company is there. You have to work like the $1 million check or however much money you want for what it is you want to do. You have to act like it's already in the bank account. And you have to work from there. It's incredibly difficult. Incredibly difficult. There's nothing about that is easy. But it is the secret to success. The other secret to success is vision. You have to have faith in your vision. This is incredibly difficult because most people can't see themselves. Most people can't visualize. Most people are so distracted that they don't have the clarity to even see their vision. I had a speaking opportunity last Friday. And I asked, it was for a women's conference, and I asked the woman, I said, what's your passion? What's the one thing that you would do for the rest of your life to benefit all of humanity, regardless of compensation? And then I told her, I said, I'm going to take care of your money. For the next several years, you don't have to worry about your money. I said, you're taken care of. Financially, you're good. No debt. You have access. Like you have more than what you need, right? You can travel when you want. You can eat whatever you want. You go purchase whatever you want. What are you going to do to help other people? They had no idea what they wanted to do. One person said pets. I'm in a room with 40, 50 women, and only one knew what their passion was. And it is that lack of clarity that most people have that inhibits their ability to see and visualize what it is they want in reality. Like when you got so many things going on, and you've been kind of conditioned to be all about everyone else, and you haven't been taught how to isolate time for yourself, and then taught the value of imagination and visualization, and using your mind, your imagination to think of the things that you want for yourself, to even ask the question, what do I want for myself, and to have the clarity to look back at past situations and past circumstances and past moments and say, when was I the most happy? When was I the most energetic, motivated, inspired? Let me go back to that moment and see what can I pull out of that research. And it is that research that kind of helps you to figure out what do you visualize yourself doing? What's your vision? What do you want to do? And then to not only think about what you want to do, but then to start adding on the details. I want to do this, but I want to do this in this city. I want to do this for this people. I want to do this in this location. I want to do this and collaborate with these people. and I want to I want to live this far from this place that I will go to help other people. Adding on these details. I want this place to be responsible for these initiatives within the community. You have to come up with these details in your mind. You have to see it as though it is real. I was talking to a young lady yesterday, and she's not struggling, but I guess she's struggling with getting out her ideas and acting on them. And so I said, have you ever saw this movie with Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy? And finally it came to me. The movie was Life. And in Life, there's this scene where Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence and all of these inmates, because this is a movie about Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence kind of getting swindled, and they end up getting framed and sent to jail for life. And so there's this moment when they're all in the jail cell or whatever, and Eddie Murphy has this. He's a slick talker from New York, and he has this concept called so and so's boom boom room. And he's telling everybody, he says, yeah, man, I got the boom boom room. I'm going to be at the boom boom room when I get out of here. And the guy's like, ooh, tell me about that boom boom room. And these guys have been in prison for so long that for somebody to give them this vision of the boom boom room, it's almost like entertainment. It's almost like freedom. And so all of the other inmates are looking at what they would love to do in this boom boom room, which is a huge casino entertainment spot that you will find probably like in the 40s and 50s, in Harlem or something like that. And so you got one guy that said, I want to be the cook. Let me be the cook, man. I want to be the cook in the boom boom room. So he's imagining himself cooking up, these delicious dishes in a boom boom room. And then you got another guy who wants to be a car dealer, He wants to run the crap table, whatever. So he's thinking he's seeing himself in all of the clothes that that person, like a car dealer, will wear in a casino. And he's passing out the money, and he's making sure that everybody who's spending their money in gambling, he's making sure they're having a good time. And then another guy says, I want to be the singer. I want to be the entertainment. So he's seeing himself on a microphone. And I imagine they're all working off of Eddie Murphy's character, off of his idea of what the boom boom room is. So Eddie creates the environment. He creates the landscape, the canvas, the paint on, and he creates this building, and he creates this energy and this vibe, and he creates this scene. And everybody else then says, well, this is what I'm good at. This is what I would love to do at the boom boom room. And everybody they've almost escaped. Using their imagination, they have escaped the prison. Now they're very much so in the prison. They're all in confinement. But for a split second, they use their imagination to get free and to think about what it would look like. And everybody in their mind had this very strong visual of what it would look like to experience an altered reality. And that is the vision that you have to have or exercise in order to be successful. You have to see it in totality, even though there's nothing in front of you. Even though I'm in this room right now full of Legos and calico critters and plastic action figures. I have to see myself in a studio with plush carpet, with amazing technology, with a microphone system that makes my voice sound crystal clear, with artifacts and things on the wall that are my muse. These moments, these symbols of inspiration. I have to see myself in this amazing studio that I have built that helps me to create incredible work. I have to see myself in this room now, regardless of the fact that I'm surrounded around plastic action figures, Legos, and calico critters. Regardless of the fact that my notebook and my iPad are propped up on a metal cart where my son has separated blue Legos from red Legos, from yellow Legos, from green, from black to gray. I have to see myself in a different situation. And I have to see it and visualize it, and it's got to become real to me. That's tough for a lot of people because some people's reality and what they see every day inhibits them from actually seeing anything else other than that. That's why you have to have faith in the vision. You have to believe in that what you're seeing is real. So you can almost exist in an alternate universe. And because you exist in an alternate universe, it encourages you and allows you to keep on working towards something. So even though you might be stumbling, even though there might be tons of roadblocks, you have to be a part of this alternate universe so that you can continue working. And that's where you, and then when you stumble in your alternate universe, because you believe so much because you believe in your vision and you have so much faith in you have so much faith in terms of you have so much faith that even if you stumble, you'll continue to keep going. Even if you fall down in your alternate universe, you have faith in what your vision is, right? You have faith in your vision, you have faith in yourself, so you'll be persistently consistent, and you'll keep on going, even though you have struggles and you have trials and you have tribulation and you have things working against you. It's the faith in yourself, it's the faith in the process, it's the faith in if I'm persistently consistent, right? I'll be okay. It's the faith in my vision. It's the faith in your vision that says, I believe in this so much that I'll continue to move on. I'll continue to exist in my alternate universe until my alternate universe becomes a reality. But for some people, that's hard, man. For some people, that's hard. Some people have been beat down so much that to believe in the unseen is really fool's gold. And there's enough people around them to convince them that believing in yourself is fool's gold. There's always that one person that believes and that continues to believe in spite of. And that person gets out. That person ascends. That person becomes a symbol of possibility. And even though you can be close to someone achieving this clarity and achieving this ability to believe and achieving this and achieving the ability to have this amazing vision, people will still discount that person and look at that person as an anomaly. That's an exception. That person got lucky. And so even when you're close to it, some people still can't see it. Like you were there for every step of the way and you still can't see how that my faith and my vision is what carried me through. My faith and my vision was helped me get over. My faith and my vision is what helped me to process all my trials and tribulations, and it made every single experience and moment in my life necessary toward fulfillment. I could not got to fulfillment had I not went through what I went through. And it's not that I've been through a bunch, but it's my ability to look for the goodness in every situation. And because I look for the goodness in every situation, I figured some things out. And I realized if it had not been for my trials and tribulations, I would have never developed the toughness, the instincts, and the knowledge to get here. I would have never developed my genius level talent. I would have never developed my instincts. I would never develop the knowledge. I would never develop the toughness. I would have never been able to be persistently consistent. I would have never figured out, come up with the vision. So as you move forward in life, as you listen to this podcast, as you're going about your day, I hope that somehow, some way, faith will become will be an intentional exercise. I hope that you will intentionally and deliberately start believing in things you can't see. I know it sounds mystical and magical. I know it sounds very sophomoric or naive, but it is those naive people that believe that they can come from nothing and create something significant. It is that same naive, youthful mentality that helps people to go on and create magic. So I hope that you will intentionally and deliberately work on your ability to believe in things that you cannot see. And I hope that you will start to take time for yourself and see a world in which you want to live in with incredible detail. And it doesn't have to necessarily be about the other people in the world. I just want to see what your world looks like. When you open up your eyes, what does your world look like? I live in a world where, the temperature and the weather is this. I live in a world where the location of my home is, right here. I live in a world where I hop in this car, or I hop on my bike, or I walk to my job, or I hop on a boat. Whatever the case may be, I live in a world where I get to do this for these people. Maybe the world already exists, and it's a matter of, can you see yourself in that world, or maybe you have to create one. But take some time to create it. Take some time to create it. And I think you'll be better for it, and we'll be better for it. We'll spend less time focusing on the Ball family and the Kardashians and whatever else and the crap is out there. We'll spend more time focusing on our own personal narrative. We'll spend less time on Facebook and social media looking at everybody else's life and getting jealous and getting depressed. And we'll start to focus more on our life, and we'll start to understand the goodness that exists in our lives. Even though the goodness might be not the goodness of where you are and the goodness of where somebody else might not be the same. You may be able to look at somebody else and say, man, you living the life, man. You got the house, the car, the spouse, all of that. I don't have any of that, but my life is just as rich as yours. And they can say, well, look at your bank account. You're not as rich as me. Look at your car. Your car isn't as nice as mine. Your house isn't as nice as mine. And all in your head, you're thinking about this alternate reality in which you live in. You say, yes, it is. I don't want your wealth. I want my wealth. My wealth looks different, but I'm just as rich as you are. I'm just as rich as you are. I don't want a Bentley. All I really want is a Fusion. I want a Fusion with all the perks. And if I get that, I feel like the way you drive, the way you feel when you're driving in your Bentley is the way I feel when I'm driving in my Fusion. And because of that, I'm rich. My house don't have 5 bathrooms in it. My house got 2 bathrooms in it, but it's the house that I wanted. It's the house that I visualize myself being in. So the feeling you get when you walk in your house is the feeling that I get when I walk in my house. And because of that, I'm rich. So that's it, man. Secret to success is faith and vision. That being said, greatness lives on the edge of death. I am not afraid to die. I will fight for my brother. I will die for my brother. And I will fight for my dreams. I will celebrate my dreams, and I will die for my dreams. Thoughts are things, and everything starts off as a thought first. Faith and visions are the secret to success. They are number 1 and number 2 at the top of the list. You have to have faith. You have to have a vision. You have to believe in your ability to believe, and you have to believe in your vision. You have to see it when it's not there. And trust me, everybody who is successful, their vision and their faith is what pulls them through every single day. Every single day. And when you don't believe, when your body's breaking down, when your mind is breaking down, when everything is breaking down, it is your faith and your vision that will pull you through, along with your spirit. My name is Marv Fice Jr., and I am done. Take care.